We'll start the council work session for Monday, December 1st, 2025 at 6 p.m. and ask the city recorder to call the roll.
Council President Briggs.
Here.
Councilor Barrientos.
Here.
Councilor Blosser.
Here.
Councilor Fitzgerald. Here. Councilor Holzapfel.
Here.
Councilor Jantz.
Here.
Councilor Schilling.
Here.
Councilor Shane.
Here.
Councilor Spivey.
Here.
All right, we have a quorum. Not that we need one.
What's that?
The library annual report.
Yes, thank you, Mayor Slack. So we have our library staff member, Andrew McAllister, here with us today, and she's going to present the annual report for the library.
Evening, Council and Mayor. I'm happy to report the annual report for the Dallas Library. We had a very busy year, a lot of great events, and a lot of daily visitors to the library. Our programs were very well attended, and we also had a few changes this year. Our biggest change came with our full-time staff. Our longtime youth services librarian, Betty Simpson, retired in April, which was a big loss for us, but we were lucky to have an in-house staff member interested in the job, Kelly Most. So she was able to train with Betty several months before Betty retired. And Kelly has done an awesome job jumping right in, planning programs, story times, as you'll see as we get to that. Dakota Milburn took over for Kelly, so he does our website, interlibrary loans, and supply purchasing. Our circulation staff mans the front desk along with our full-time staff. Our library page works in the back, checking in, book drop, courier, and also shelving. I do want to mention we also have several library volunteers that come in and shelve for us every week, several of whom have been there for over a decade, and they really help us out a lot with shelving. Some statistics. All of our statistics are up. As you can see, we had a huge increase in library visitors, which we attribute to our variety of programs for all ages.
That is quite an increase.
Yeah.
That's like 20% or some number like that.
Yeah, we've had a huge turnout for our programs. We've tried to target families, all ages, so people can bring their families. Makes it a lot easier for everybody to come together. Library card holders are up 2%. Our checkouts are up 5%, which we attribute to more people coming into the library, and also our new display tables. I have some pictures of that coming up, but it just puts a lot of our materials out there where people can see them, and we find they get checked out a lot more when people can have them right in front of them. This is just a breakdown of the physical items we have in the library. The total number fluctuates as we discard old or outdated items and add new items in.
What sorts of things come under the heading of other?
That would be like our guitars, ukuleles, museum passes, hotspots, things like that, things that aren't books and DVDs, etc. Our library collection includes regular, large prints, nonfiction, fiction, audio CDs, DVDs and Blu-rays. We have movies and popular series, and also older, hard-to-find things for people to check out that you can't find through streaming. We have mobile hotspots available for checkout for people that don't have internet access. This gives them free Wi-Fi for up to 6 devices in their house. All they need to B is in the T-Mobile. They don't have to have T-Mobile service. They just need to be able to be in that network. And then we have the guitars and ukuleles. We have Playaways, which are tablets for kids that come preloaded with educational activities and stories, early literacy activities. We have 10, and they're
out
all
regularly?
constantly on hold and checked out. They're very popular. We also have STEAM kits available for checkout. These have educational activities for kids, science, technology, engineering, art, and math activities. Most of these can be checked out. The ones that can't be checked out are available at our STEAM nights, and kids can come try them out, and that kind of brings them into the library. Those STEAM nights are very popular. New to our collection this year are Wonder Books. These are books that come with audiobooks built in. They have USB charging, and patrons can plug in their own headphones in. There's a headphone jack to them. Kelly purchased these through an early literacy grant, and they're also checked out quite a bit. We still have several cultural passes available for checkout. All of these are available to Dallas Library card holders. Most of them are family passes, except for Evergreen Aviation is for 2 adults. But every household can check out each one of these passes once per year. So they could go to every one of these places every year for free.
Incredible. I didn't know that. You guys know that? Yeah? No? Yeah? Wow.
And also new this year, the Oregon Jewish Museum and Center for Holocaust Education gave us some passes. So we have free passes there. The Friends of the Library purchase our other passes, but these ones we didn't even have to pay for. They were just donated. Also, through the early literacy grant, Kelly purchased some puzzles and educational games. These can't be checked out, but parents and families can come bring their kids and use them in the library. We like to have activities for people to just do in the library, just brings more people in. Also new this year is our new book display. This is an before picture. It's not the best one because it doesn't show all of the books on all the shelves, but those shelves were completely full, both sides of new fiction and nonfiction books. There wasn't a lot of space for people to browse. There's a bench on the other side of this also. People don't like to stand over and have somebody looking over their shoulder while they're looking at books. So we asked the Friends of the Library to purchase us some display tables. So now we have these display tables where we can have front-facing books. We have them separated by genre, and a lot more patrons can look at the new books at once, and they're not all crowded, and they can see a lot more of the titles. They like to see the covers of the books. They also, bonus to these is there's wheels on the tables, so when we have an event, we can just wheel these down the aisle. We don't even have to take all the books off the shelves. We did it for Harry Potter night, and it makes things a lot more convenient. We have 6 of these shelves. We still have the benches for those who want to sit down and look at books, but we just have a lot more space for people to browse, and we've gotten a lot of great response from people. They really like it. It's a lot more like a bookstore. This is just another view of the other 2 tables. And then behind those tables in the middle, on the end, we have end cap displays now. The Friends of the Library purchased those for us also, so we can have front-facing movies. And you can't see it in this picture, but behind the blue pillar there, we have an end cap for our adult graphic novels. So we're really trying to have more front-facing displays for people. We really feel like our checkout numbers have gone up since we've had these books on display. We still have several e-resources available, e-books, e-magazines, e-audiobooks. People can check these out and read them on their Kindles or tablets or PCs, et cetera.
Andrea, can I ask you a question about those front-facing displays?
Yeah.
As you check out some of those materials and you start to see holes in those displays, do we have our staff going in and filling in those holes?
Yeah, and it's really helpful for me. I purchased the adult items. It's helpful for me to see what's getting checked out a lot. I can notice a lot of the large print is empty a lot of the time, so I can purchase more of those. And it's just a more visual way of seeing it without having to look up the statistics. But yeah, we're constantly refilling those.
I can confirm that from a user point of view because I use the library a lot and I never see holes in those displays. They're always full, which means somebody's keeping them that way.
Constantly looking at them. Some more e-resources we have. These are just a few of the e-resources that are available with your library card. Ancestry and the Chilton Online is very popular. The Chilton, a lot of you are familiar with those big, heavy auto manuals. We can't keep all of those in stock, and they take up a lot of space and they're heavy. People can come in and look up the make and model of their car. They can print out only the pages they need and take them home. It's really handy. New this year is Comics Plus, which has several comics and graphic novels available for adults, teens, and kids. Duolingo is Spanish. I think there's Spanish, French, a few different languages on there. But again, these don't have to be checked out. You can just look them up on our catalog, and they're always adding new e-resources. We still offer our outbound service to those who can't make it into the library due to advanced age or illness. We've done temporary outbound service for people who've been injured or going through chemotherapy. We can deliver to anybody within the Dallas city limits, books, DVDs, audiobooks. Okay, this next slide. All right, now I'll get into, Kelly has taken over a huge job. I think I mentioned last year, we have 150 story times per year, 3 story times a week. She has to plan crafts, games. It's just a huge job, and she's done an amazing job. I don't know if this little video will play or if it's going to make noise. Oh, no, it's not. Well, anyway, one of the little video I had was the kids do a little parade Tuesday and Thursday. Kelly leads this little parade throughout the library and then walks them back to do their craft and story time. One of the, oh yeah, go ahead.
Things like that, are they during the day or are they in the evening?
The story times are at 10:30, Monday, Tuesday.
Children are coming to class?
Preschool, yeah, parents with little kids. And then Wednesday, she has an infant toddler story time too. Yeah, we do have after school activities like this Pokemon party. She plans things for school-age kids. This was, I believe, at 4 o'clock. This was a regular event Betty had done before, but Kelly added some new activities, changed it up, and it was a big success. She also did some all-day activities on Halloween, crafts for families. It was kind of a drop-in event. People could come anytime during that day, and we had a lot of people come in on Halloween. I think we had over 1,000 people by the end of the day. Harry Potter night, the 2 pictures on the right is Harry Potter night. That is another one of our big events, and Kelly took that on and did a great job. We had a nice turnout. I think a few hundred people came to that. Another event that Kelly came up with this one, kawaii drawing for kids. They just learned how to draw these cute little characters on here, and they had a really great time. A few more kids events. This is just a little sampling of the events we have. Couldn't fit them all in this presentation, but she did painted pots for Mother's Day, galaxy jars for the kids, little tiny art. Now on to summer reading. We had over 900 participants this year. That's kids, teens, and adults. All ages came to our events. The Bubble Man was, I think, one of the most well-attended summer reading events we've had in a while. I think about 400 people came to that. We had science and cultural events. Wildlife Center brought raptors for the kids to see. The Museum of Natural and Cultural History had some science events going on. We had Irish dancing, a storyteller from Ghana. So we had quite a variety of summer reading events. The last event we had was our summer reading party. Kelly hired some costume characters. We had some last year that were very popular. The kids really liked to see them. So we had those there, and cake and games, and we also gave away over 400 free books. Some new teen events we had this year. Kids made journals. They did sun prints. They put objects on photosensitive paper, took them out in the sun, and developed them.
I've got a question about the slide right before this one.
Oh, yeah.
Where you gave away, you said a couple of hundred free books.
Yeah.
How did you source the books? Was it the Friends of the Library that came up with those, or how did you come up with
There's a grant. I believe it's the early literacy grant that pays for that. Yeah, they get one every year or Kelly gets one every year during summer reading. So, and those are given out not just at the party, but throughout the year, throughout the summer. And I believe that same grant, we give out free library books to every kid that comes in and gets their library card. So they get one to keep. A lot of our teen events have food involved because teens like to eat food and it brings them in. So Kelly planned an ice cream social and bingo, and they won little white elephant gifts. It was a big success. On the right there is a spooky art event. We had patrons donate old unwanted paintings, and then the kids painted little ghosts in them. And it was kind of a neat way for people to get rid of stuff out of their house too. But we got a lot of paintings. Paint nights, this is our adult paint nights. All of our paint nights are free. People just have to sign up ahead of time, and we usually have a waiting list. They fill up really fast. We provide all the supplies, and people just can show up and have a fun night of painting. We did several free movies this year for all ages. We have a movie night for adults, for kids, and for teens. These are just a few of the ones we showed. A couple of our cultural events, we had the Oregon Poet Laureate, Ellen Waterston. She did a poetry workshop during the day and then a poetry reading at night. We brought back our Celtic harpists. That's always a very popular event. The event center across the street, the Dallas Event Center, donates their space to us for most of our musical events, which is really nice. This is just a couple of the authors we had this year. Emma Patty, best-selling author of Tilt. And then we also had Alan James Fromhurst, who is a former Dallas resident. He's a professor of Middle East Studies, and he came and did a talk about his new book. That brings us to our biggest event of the year, our Library Con, which had over 1,000 attendees. It was a 4-hour event. We had it in the library and the Civic Center. We had 5 authors and artists do presentations throughout the event in the Grace Scatterday room. And when they weren't presenting, they had tables near the front desk so people could come and have purchase books and talk to them. All of the authors were really impressed with the number of people they were able to talk to They really had a good time, and a lot of them are going to come back for our next one. We had local vendors, Galaxy One, Everything Blaine Likes, Mythic Finds, and Cujo's Collectibles. They all had tables there, and also some outside vendors came. Up here, the costume characters here are from Star Wars Oregon. They're a nonprofit group. They came for free and just walked around in their cool costumes. Kids and adults really got a kick out of that. We also had Jason Chrisman, who was an official Star Wars artist and droid builder. He had his own little R2-D2 droid. We had the Neontendo, which was a custom-built Dodge Neon with Nintendo games built into it. We had a costume contest. On the upper right there, we had a professional Lego builder came in and had a community Lego build. And then on the bottom right there, we had the Portland Ghostbusters, which was also a nonprofit group that came in and they made slime with the kids, and they were free too. So it was a fun event. These are just some of the community partners that help us with all these events. Our Friends of the Library pay for the majority of the things that happen at the library, including our museum passes, our movie licensing, our music licensing, any supplies we need for summer reading events or kids events, they pay for all of that. And a lot of the friends volunteer at our events too. We need volunteers at all of our events, and they're very helpful. The Dallas Community Foundation gave us a grant for large print and audiobooks, which is very helpful to the budget, as those are more expensive than regular print. Polk County Cultural Coalition gave us a grant for our authors, including the authors that we had at our Comic-Con. And the Dallas Event Center donates their space to us, which is great when we need it for bigger venues. Looking ahead, December is already looking very busy. We have a calligraphy workshop coming up, teen hot cocoa tasting and cookie decorating, gingerbread house building for kids. We have a STEAM night for kids. We're going to have the Museum of Natural and Cultural History is having a display, Native American creative works of science and design by Native Americans. And that's just going to be at the library, and I believe in the Grace Scatterday room for about a month, and people can just come in and look. We had a dinosaur display there from that same organization a few months ago. And that was just kind of a drop-in event. In January, the library will be getting a $10,000 grant from the Carnegie Foundation. Even though we're not in the Carnegie building anymore, we're still considered an official Carnegie library. Winter reading starts in January for all ages, kids, teens, and adults. And we are going to have another Comic-Con in March. We're adding an additional venue. We're still going to have it in the library, the Civic Center, but we're also going to have it in the Majestic, which is just a couple doors down from us, because we're trying to expand it a bit. And we just have a lot more cultural, music, and other events, more authors coming up. So,
Will the Carnegie grant be used for?
I'm not sure yet. I think Mark's still deciding that.
Strings attached to that?
No,
has to
no
be
strings attached. We can use it for whatever we want.
Great.
Any questions?
I'll just jump in to say that one of the things I really appreciate about our library is that it's not your great grandma's library, for one, where, I don't think we've ever shushed anyone in our library. In fact, we encourage the opposite, be loud, talk, have fun. But Mark and his staff are very intentional on recognizing that they're in our downtown and they want to be a downtown partner, right? So the Library Con is a great example of an event that they drew in the businesses. They made those contacts. They reached out to the businesses and said, hey, we're doing this activity. We realize that this is, some of it overlays with what you're doing in your business. do you want to participate? And all of them were like, yes, we'd love to participate. And it was just a great opportunity for them to kind of collaborate and bring in those businesses together in our community to highlight them, right? So we're highlighting the library at the same time we're highlighting our businesses. Some of those are in the downtown, some of them are not in the downtown, but just to bring them together. They're a really good convener. They work well with the businesses. We try to engage other businesses in the activities that we have. And when businesses are having activities, the chamber's having an activity, the downtown association's having an activity, the library always finds a way to participate in that, right? They really want to be a downtown partner and a business that just supports those other organizations. So I can't ask for anything more from what our librarian and the staff there do. They're excellent. And I just love having them. So thank you, Andrea. It was great.
Counselor Shane.
I'm going to piggyback on that a little bit. No, yeah, as far as bringing in the businesses for all those events, and last but not least, it generates a lot of downtown traffic, which is good for everybody. The thing I wanted to say was that, as we know, Dallas is a full-service city, which is pretty rare for a city our size. In fact, it's very rare. And it means we do a lot of things and do them well. Parks, public safety, and the library is a big one. And as a longtime user of the library, and I knew a lot of the stuff you presented, but there were some surprises in there, some things you do that I didn't know. I defy anybody to find a town our size with a library that is more active than this one, more engaged with everybody around them, and has more different offerings and things for more different target audiences and populations. You guys do a truly fabulous job. And I know that sounds like a speech, but I think sometimes we don't always acknowledge good work as often as we might. So if you'd pass that back to Mark and everybody on the staff, we're very aware of what a fabulous job you guys do.
I also want to mention our staff is amazing, and they all go above and beyond to help people not just find the items they're looking for, but if they need tech help or getting their Kindle set up, they're just really great. Everybody on the staff is great. So, sorry.
I was just going to add, the other part that I missed on that I want to say is, our library is always looking for what's next, right? How can we be better at what we're doing today? The events are one aspect of that. The Library Con was new this year. And they like to continue things that are successful, right? They just don't do it because they've done it before. They do the things and they repeat things that work well and continue to see success. But if something's not being successful, they'll pull it off and say, we're not doing that anymore. We're going to do something else. What's new? The displays that are more like a bookstore, you walk into like a Barnes & Noble or another bookstore, Powell's, from Portland, they have those forward-facing books, right? So people can see the books. When Mark brought that concept up and said, hey, what do you think about this? I said, it's great, do it, love it. They're looking for that, and what's next, what's innovative, how can we be different, how can we stand out? And to see the outcome, right, of a higher percentage of books being checked out, it's because of those changes that they're making. So again, our library staff, as Andrea said, they're on top of it. They're always looking to just do better and improve themselves. And they've just done great things. So yeah, kudos.
Questions for Andrea? Great presentation. Thank you.
Thank you.
No other business for me.
All right. Hearing none, we'll adjourn until 7.